Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Hello. Welcome to the Spade Show. If you're new here, please subscribe, click the notification bell, share everywhere. If you're returning, welcome home. How to pick up trashy women. Wow.
D's nuts.
And we see these days, any band that is kind of like anti-woman, we refer to them as the manosphere. I don't know who Jeffrey Jerome Clark is. I think I've seen him on a panel somewhere or whatever, but he has wrote a book, How to Pick Up Trashy Women. I have not read it, but the fact that there's a second edition means that the first edition must have been doing pretty well to come up with a second edition. And we're going to see a lot of books and different videos and things like this around because it's Christmas season and people are going to be buying stuff and people are going to be putting out books right before the end of the year so that they can include it in their quote unquote business. But why exactly would somebody want to pick up trashy women unless they're trashy themselves? And this kind of goes into when you meet someone and you're doing the whole vetting thing. You got to ask them about stuff like this. Like, what do you digest? What do you do for fun? What type of places are you into when you go on Facebook and YouTube? Because guys like this who read stuff like this and who even maybe write and talk about stuff like this, these are people who are going to waste your time and ultimately they're going to make you into a plaything. Because I'm willing to bet that first you have to figure out what or who is a trashy woman. And most guys these days, they believe that all women or majority of women are trashy.
Based liberal.
And I know what you're thinking. You're being a simp. You're always defending the women, this and that. But that's not really the case because we have to be fair that, and I'm talking to you, gentlemen, we got to be fair that a lot of the 304s that are running around is because of us.
Simping activate.
And what I mean is that women want attention and we're giving them attention based off of them being sexually suggestive. And they see that the women that are quote unquote winning or getting the most attention, even getting money and stuff from different guys, these are women that look like and act like 304s. So if we want to no longer have trashy women and have 304s, then we gotta stop supporting women who act like 304s and look like them, because there's a real rampant hoe mentality, and it's because of us, because we've been rewarding bad behavior on different types of levels.
But that's okay.
And so, so I saw this book on Facebook, decided to kind of give my 2 cents as far as the whole thing, as far as the hoe mentality. I go more into that on the Playthings and Placeholders YouTube channel. And if you want to pick up the book, come back and put it in the comment section what you thought of it if you decide to read it. If not, I don't think you're missing much. Moving on. Taraji P. Henson. You may have known her for different movies. She's been successful. A lot of people like Taraji. They say she's had a lot of great roles, including there's a new Color Purple movie coming out. She's gotten praise from that. There's also a movie, other movies she's done, like Baby Boy. She's been on Empire. She's done a lot of great acting roles. And she says, well, even though I've done a lot of roles and you liked me on those roles, I have not been paid a lot.
Game over.
And it's very sad because pretty soon different actors and actresses that you may support may no longer do anything for you to support, because not only are they not getting paid a lot by Hollywood, but we're not really going out in droves to watch them on the small screen or the big screen. Let me just give you a couple of her accolades just so you understand the fact that if she does quit acting, which that's the rumor of the rumor mill, if she quits acting, we're going to be losing someone that's really, really great. And so a lot of people may know her as Cookie on Empire, but she's also done Nickelodeon's Unfiltered, Peace of Mind. She's done RuPaul's Drag Race, That's My Jam, America in Black, Abbott Elementary. And those are just a few television shows or episodes she's done. And as far as movies, she's got The Color Purple is coming out. She plays Sugar Avery. Then she was also doing the Paw Patrol thing, giving the kids something to look at. She also was in Minions, Coffee and Kareem, The Best of Enemies, What Men Want. She was in Acrimony, Proud Mary, Hidden Figures. She's been in like a lot of movies. You can check her out on her Wikipedia and I think it's IMDb, where a lot of the movie stars and actors and actresses put their resume on. But the one thing to highlight is the fact that she's been in role after role after role, and she says that she's way underpaid in Hollywood, and she's tired of this crap. She is tired and ready to call it quits. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. So she says she's tired of working her butt off in Hollywood and being paid a fraction of what she feels she's worth, getting emotional over what she says is a huge pay gap. The actress broke down in tears when asked if she seriously considered quitting acting. She told Gayle King she feels uncertain about her on-screen career and money's the main factor. Taraji says she's still being underpaid for big movie roles despite being a well-established and super famous I'm stuttering, actress, reaching a boiling point. The way Taraji explains it, even if she's paid $10 million for a movie, she won't see anywhere near that when the dust settles. Taxes take a huge chunk, and then she's got to break off a bunch of money for her team. Taraji says the math ain't mathin'. So basically, she would need to make more money to even actually get the 10 million, which I've heard other actors and actresses talk about and mention. It's kind of like the cost of doing business, if you will. And so she says she's plugged in The Color Purple, and she recalls her contract for Benjamin Button. She says she was asking for $500K and was only paid $100K. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So not only is she trying to get paid what she's worth, but she's not even getting close to what she wants. Now, I'll say this much. In Benjamin Button, she had a supporting role, and she really helped the character of Benjamin Button be rounded out. And she did her job. She did her job with the support. And other roles that she's been in, like Hidden Figures, also The Karate Kid, Think Like a Man 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Acrimony, Proud Mary. She's been a really good supporting actress. She's never really been a lead. And the other thing I'll say is that I think this is a testament as to the fact that when it comes to entertainment, Hollywood doesn't have a rival. There shouldn't be a one Hollywood and then you either work in Hollywood or you don't. There should be other types of things to combat Hollywood where you don't have to go across seas. And that to me, that is the reason why people, if they are unhappy with something, they got to create something separate so that they're like, okay, there's Hollywood, and then we have our own thing over here to combat and rival Hollywood. So if you feel like you're not getting paid your worth, you can go to the competition. Kind of like WWE and ECW. No, is it AEW? And what I mean is, if you're unhappy with WWE, you can go to AEW, the rival, and possibly not only get paid what you're worth, but have more creative control. Then if you're unhappy with AEW, you can go to WWE, be a part of their formula, and have maybe a benefit for your career. You have different options. You're not just stuck with one thing. So with Hollywood, even though there's different companies or different film organizations in Hollywood, there's only one Hollywood. And that, in my opinion, is the main problem. Taraji P. Henson, she did mention a film company or a producer. She said Hollywood. And so Hollywood is an entire industry. So if the industry is not doing you right, you can go outside the US, but you more than likely are going to get the same type of treatment. So there really is no actual reprieve for what Taraji P. Henson is laying out. And I'll say this much. So we see different actors and actresses making millions of dollars. I don't really know how Hollywood works per se, but I do know that if there's other people who are making a lot of money, I think the actors and actresses should put their money together, come up with their own film company, and perhaps go independent. So you're still operating in Hollywood, but you got your own thing. So where you could put out your own movies, pay yourself, and get more line share of the profit. It may not be that easy, of course. I mean, someone like Taraji would probably be able to better explain why that is either not an option or not a good option. But the fact that she's breaking down in public like this shows that it's a problem.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up is a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid.
Yeah, so if she makes more, she could pay the team more. I completely understand. But I noticed that she said her and her sisters, referring to black women. Not black men, but black women. So they should put their money together and go independent from all these film studios, and perhaps they can build something to where they can get paid what they're worth. But I think a lot of them don't want to do that because they're afraid that if they do that, they may get blacklisted.
Unfrickin' believable.
And just the term blacklisted, it not just necessarily means blackball, but it could be, oh, you're trying to create some black stuff. You're trying to create a black thing. You know what? You're done. We're getting rid of you. And I think that's what the fear is. They don't want to get the whole statement of you're never going to work in this town again, because they understand that an audience may support them a little bit, but not at the level that they would be supported if they had a Hollywood machine behind them. So, yeah. And so Kiki, okay, everybody's favorite actress, the diva, the big boss. So she chimed in and she says the entertainment industry is just like any other industry. We run businesses to keep our brands afloat. Us being the brand, the business, and it's that team of company members that decrease any assumed large lump sum. This includes monthly expenses, just like everyone else. In the words of Biggie, more money, more problems. To make money, you must spend money, so what seems like a lot is taken by a lot. There is still privilege. Whoa. Kiki, basically, in my opinion, and I'm just, reading the same thing you see, it seems like Kiki is somewhat taking up for the industry and how things are.
That was sus.
And what I mean is you come down here and she says, for an entertainment career, you may be like me, an actor, influencer, host, speaker, etc. I keep a job because I have to. We all work multiple jobs and we may like some, but also because we have to. So what Kiki is saying is she has multiple streams in the entertainment industry. She's not relying on one project to meet her financial goals. And I think, so Kiki's right, and I understand what she's saying, but by Kiki putting this out there, Kiki is missing the mark in that, what if somebody doesn't want to do multiple things, but they still want to be able to take care of their team, take care of their family? They should be able to do that. They shouldn't have to settle for less and do all these other different jobs just to get what they feel they're worth for an individual project. And that's what Taraji's saying. And I think that's what Kiki somewhat, and I don't know if it was intentional, but she somewhat downplayed and watered down what Taraji was illustrating by her making this post. Because people are going to take what Taraji said and say, okay, I feel what you're saying. But then they're going to come back and see what Kiki is saying. And Kiki basically is saying, the business is the business. This is what we do to mitigate not getting paid what we're worth. And you just got to deal with it. And I think that is the wrong answer.
If just leave it.
Right. That is the wrong answer. But I'm sure she means well. I'm sure her and Taraji P. Henson are friends. I think when people chime in and they kind of give their opinion or they do something to be helpful, I think sometimes they're being hurtful and they get in the way as opposed to helping someone along the way.
Pays to win, still loses.
Right. So there really should be a rival to Hollywood, maybe even a black version, if you will. They have like a Nollywood in Nigeria. They have a Bollywood in India. They have their own rivals to Hollywood. And sometimes their talent comes to America and works in Hollywood for different projects. I think both Kiki and Taraji are both right. Hopefully one day, if not now, in the future, a lot of actors and actresses and people in the entertainment industry, they get together and they create something that can rival Hollywood as a whole so that nobody has to suffer from this type of thing in the future. And, you know, this kind of helps me go into the next thing. So Christian Keys, he says that the same way Cassie was allegedly abused by Diddy, and of course she got the payout or the settlement from that, he says that he too has been victim. A lot of people have come forward and said they're victims. It's a popular thing now. And so if you don't know who Christian Keys is, Christian Keys' filmography includes, he's really known for Diary of a Mad Black Woman and Medea Goes to Jail. He's had other roles in movies where he wasn't really prominent. Like he was in Dysfunctional Friends as Styles. He was in Black Coffee as Julian. The Man in 3B as Slim. He was Saint and Sinners, Judgment Day, a movie called Stalker that came out in 2022. He's been in a lot of movies that myself have never really heard of or seen. A lot of these are TV movies or, you know, they straight to video or whatever. Then his television accolades include Brothers and Sisters, where he was a bouncer. And then there was he was in the show Supernatural as Michael. Then he was in the show, the superhero show, The Boys. He played Nathan Franklin, and then he was on the show All Rise. So he's had a lot of roles, and he's been kind of like in the background, if you will, kind of like Taraji P. Henson. And so he's saying, hey, I experienced stuff too.
When the belt when it wasn't as effective as she wanted, when it didn't make us scream loud enough, she would hold the leather side and beat us with the belt buckle. It gets worse, but it was that kind of environment between 8 and 12. So by 9, I started running away. By 10, I was pretty good. By 11, I was a professional runaway. I could stay on the streets for a week or two at a time. I knew how to sleep behind the bleachers in the middle school, how to sneak in and bum a bite of a friend's lunch in the cafeteria, or go through the garbage and see what they didn't eat, hit the garbage at McDonald's to eat, or steal from Farmer Jack's or Kmart. I got good at that too, unfortunately, but I had to eat. So that's what kind of, she adopted me when I was 6. And then, but the rough years, the beating started at 8, and I just kept running away, and finally they believed me. Child Protective Services, man, they dropped the ball probably a dozen times. Neighbors complained, because she would have, as a punishment, she made me walk down the street naked in the rain at 9 years old to ask a neighbor for a magazine, a watchtower and a wake, ask another Jehovah's Witness family. And like the things that this does to a kid, like it took a couple decades to build my self-esteem back up and to heal from all of that. It was heavy and painful. But I was so happy to get out of there. They finally believed me. We're pressing charges, and we're at the courthouse, and she says, if you drop the charges, I will relinquish my adoption rights and you'll never have to see me again. And I said, shit, where do I sign? And so that was it. But the other side of that is that she kept my brother with her, my blood brother. And he had been through most of the foster homes with me. But not all of them, but most of them. And he had been adopted with me. So we were split for like 10, 11 years. I didn't see him again till, I don't know, I was 20.
Okay, so Christian Keys talked about his upbringing, about how he was dealing with abuse and everything, and I feel for him. I understand. But here's the thing. He said that in the entertainment industry, he experienced stuff, and he's not naming names. And I think the reason why he's doing that is because he wants to, we'll just say, he wants to come forward and say someone did something to me, but behind the scenes, whoever the people were, I think he's going to them saying, I will not attach your name to this if you give me certain projects or give me a dollar amount.
Kill-tacular, Kilimanjaro, Kill-pocalypse.
All alleged, of course, all alleged. But for Cassie to be able to get the settlement that she got within 24 hours, they were negotiating behind the scenes for like a week. And then when the court documents went public, that's when the settlement was reached, because they're like, okay, you know what? She's coming at us from the point of view of an employee. And once the bell is rung, you can't unring it. The allegations that she's going to put out there are going to damage us worse than actually paying her. So they went ahead and paid up. And I think Christian Keys is going down the same route. Now, I know I'm not here to victim blame or say that he's not telling the truth, but it's just that all of this is coming out around the same time as Puff Daddy and other people are being accused of stuff. And it's very difficult for it to not look like a cash grab, especially because he's not putting an address on what he's saying. And I think that's what it is. I think that he's more focused on him having a better career, him having a payday, because when I went through and looked at all of his accolades for both film and television, he's more like a C-list celebrity, a background character. And he probably feels like he's worth more, like Taraji P. Henson feels like she's worth more. And I think this is her, like the way that Taraji P. Henson is trying to get, we'll just say, better pay by doing interviews. Christian Keys is trying to get better pay by saying, hey, somebody did stuff to me, and if they won't pay it, if they won't give me what I deserve, then I'm going to attach their name to stuff that I signed up for and allowed myself to be subjected to, and I'm going to take you down with me.
Wrenched, blocked, dragged, get shots taken at me.
Right. And, you know, this is the way it is. You could say, well, this is a good thing, it's a bad thing. I think this is just his way of evening the odds against people who have wronged him and took advantage of him. And he sees that, hey, it worked for Cassie, maybe it'll work for me. And, you know, best of luck to him. But the issue I have is this. Here's the issue I have. If Christian Keys, let's say he really went through everything that he has put out, that he experienced as far as in the entertainment industry, there's other people who are being victimized who will continue to be victimized because he's not naming names. The most powerful thing is not just an accusation or a lawsuit, but people being made aware of this person did this thing to someone else. So let me keep an eye on them to make sure that that same thing doesn't happen to me. But when you don't name names, it's almost like you're protecting the bad people because you're looking out for yourself. And in a way, even though, let's say, Christian Keys is allegedly a victim, it kind of makes him no different than the people who did negative things to him, because they're going to be allowed to do negative things to more people because no one's really being made aware. And that's the issue that I have. Like, I understand that behind the scenes, he's probably negotiating stuff. He wants to improve his position, improve his life. But in doing that, you may be hurting other people who could be spared from the fate that you were subjected to.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
And we see this all the time, that you have people who could do the right thing and help out people, but they choose not to for self-preservation, and it is what it is. So hopefully in the future he names the names. I doubt that he is, because he's probably more focused on getting a payday or getting better roles to stay silent and complicit to what he's been subjected to. Hey, more power to him, and hopefully he gets what he wants. Moving on.
Parenters. And we have a good relationship, friendship.
All right, we got you. If I was the person that you were entertaining, I would run fast as hell from you. You don't have no boundaries. I'm great. I am 100% effective at co-parenting, but I have boundaries. There are certain conversations that we are not going to have. If it's not related to the child, and anything that is related to the child, you should absolutely not have those conversations. The marriage did not work. Now, I'm not saying, I know sometimes people jump out of marriages and say, hey, we still can be friends. But the truth is, there's still an emotional connection somewhere that you have. So the next person that you're dealing with is going to see that obviously there's still a connection. You can still love a person and put a line straight between y'all and say, I can't do this anymore. I cannot constantly entertain you. I can't answer whenever you need me. On top of that, baby girl, you're an enabler. You mean to tell me that this man can come to you and say,
Facts. And
how do I tell the 2-year boyfriend that I still look out for the ex-husband that I've known since I was 18 years old? So we're great co-parenters.
Yeah, so she really hasn't gotten rid of her feelings for the ex-boyfriend or the baby daddy. And any dude that comes along is basically, we'll just say, they're occupying a spot while she gives your money to her ex. Yeah. When she comes to you and she says, hey, babe, I'm short. Can you help me out with the rent? Can you give me $1,000? She's short on the rent because she gave the money to her baby daddy.
D's nuts.
And I know it's tough to hear, but that's basically what it is. No matter what this woman says as far as, what if this, what about that, he's got my child or my children, any money that you give this woman or a woman like this is going to go to the baby daddy. And you're going to be funding and financing his lifestyle one way or another. And that's why a lot of guys say to not date single mothers, because you're going to be experiencing this when dating a single mother. She may end up taking money from you for her children or for her baby daddy. It may even be for a homegirl, family member, what have you. Any money you give her or anything you pay for, it's going to somewhat indirectly help somebody else. And if you're going to be dating a single mother, you have to accept this. You got to accept it. In the world of animals, a cuckold is an animal that puts parental responsibility on a child that is not theirs. In the world of humans, a cuckold is someone that lets someone else have relations with a significant other. I think for the sake of conversation, both should be used for the term cuck or cuckold. And that's what you got to understand, that if you are a man and you're dating a single mother, you're basically helping out and assuming parental responsibility for someone else's child. And I think that if you accept that that's how it is, despite what she tells you, then you're prepared to have a ready-made family. If you do not want to be involved in that, then you shouldn't be dating single mothers, because there's a lot of women who help out their baby daddy financially because she had a kid with him.
No, that's his responsibility. You can't take over another person's responsibility. Just truthfully, if you are still doing that, you are not ready to talk to anybody right now until you have healthy boundaries with yourself.
Well, and so I agree, but the problem is that you can't really, like what she's saying it out loud, but this is like a lot of situations where you have a woman, the baby daddy's not doing so well financially, and it's like, okay, do I let him suffer because my kids are going to be going over there, and I want my kids or my children or child to have a relationship with their father? And then you could say, well, the father could come over to your place, but then, you know, you and your boyfriend or husband, y'all might want some alone time, and the kids got to go with their dad eventually. So it's going to boil down to, she's going to be giving him money. It's going to happen. And if you don't want to be in that situation, then don't date a single mother, because there's no way for you to know if she does this, because she more than likely won't tell you. But I do agree that the woman should have healthy boundaries. It's just that when you meet her, she already had a kid with him, whether she picked right or not. So the healthy boundary really shouldn't be her to her baby daddy per se. It really should be you to her, or if you're a woman, you to your man, because they're going to be forever tied to the parents of their child, whether that parent is good or bad, active or not. And I think we have to be more realistic in accepting the negatives associated with dating someone that has a ready-made family or has a child from a previous relationship, so we can have healthier relationships and healthy lives going forward. And if you don't want to be a part of that, then don't date single mothers. I know. I know you all are like, well, that shouldn't be the takeaway, because what about this? What about that? No. You have to accept all good or all bad for every person you date. You got to take them as is. And if they are supporting their ex financially for whatever reason, if you really want to be with that person, you have to accept it, even though you can voice your opinion. If you don't want to accept it and that's a deal breaker, leave. Don't stick around trying to be abusive, trying to talk down to her. You take care of your ex, that's messed up. No. She's making a choice. She made a choice way before you came in there. She's making a choice now to support this dude or do whatever. You got to take her as is. And if it's a deal breaker, then break off the relationship or marriage and leave. If you're cool with it, voice your opinion one time and let it go. It is what it is. All right. So moving on.
Your doctor and not playing the game so I can take you off work, because then we see you 25 times in the pregnancy. It's hard to believe that there's a true problem when there's a true problem.
So Dr. Jackie on Married to Medicine, she is facing backlash for comments about basically black women who are pregnant crying wolf every time they get a chance to, because they don't want to work.
I tried to tell these niggas earlier when this dumbass bitch did the dumb whole shit.
So here's the problem that I have with Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie, on the right there, on this show, she's an OB-GYN. She helps deliver babies. Dr. Jackie has never been pregnant, or at least never had a child. So for her to critique people who have been pregnant and have come to term and have given birth, to me, it's just a negative, especially because she's putting it towards specifically black women, not women in general. So number one, she's speaking on a situation that she has not experienced herself. And number two, she's trying to make it seem like this is a black woman problem when it shouldn't be. This should be more of a, we'll just say this really should be a problem that she shouldn't be speaking on. But if she's going to speak on it from her professional point of view, dealing with pregnant women, and pregnant women coming back later on saying that they complained about a lot of stuff because they wanted to get time off from work and stuff, she needs to just focus on the people who have admitted that they did that, not all pregnant women that she's dealt with or all pregnant black women. Because, and people have been saying this, and I'm saying it too, that what we end up doing is we end up committing to anti-black racism by stating opinions that may be somewhat true, but we're doing more harm than good. We're doing more harm than good, because what's going to happen is someone like Dr. Jackie going around saying this to other medical professionals, they're going to start treating pregnant black women, we'll just say, in a negative way because of the stereotypes that a black woman who's never been pregnant, never had a child, is putting out there. And that's going to hurt more patients who are actually experiencing stuff. Or let's say if you got a patient who's like, you know what, I do want to have time off from work. What's, if this is what I'm telling you that I'm experiencing, then what's the big deal? I mean, you really can't prove how someone is feeling or not feeling. All you can do is run tests and say, okay, based off of what you're complaining about in these tests, here's what I could do for you. And if they don't like what you come up with, they can go to a different medical professional. And that's how it should be. But just for you to put your biases out there, and I'm not gonna say she has disdain for black women, but she does, when you watch the show, she does sometimes come off as elitist.
Let's go!
She does come off as elitist, and someone like her with the money that she makes and the lifestyle that she lives, she can afford to just not work and be okay. Whereas someone who's like, I don't want to work like this, give me time off. I mean, they're pregnant. So if they want that, you should give it to them, because they're basically caring for two people. And just the bias that she's putting out there, I think it's medical professionals are going to hear stuff like this, whether she says it publicly or privately, and they're going to be doing negative things to pregnant black women. And I think that's just the wrong answer. It's just the wrong answer. So the fact that she's speaking on a situation that she's never experienced herself, and that she's doing anti-black racism by, we'll just say, having it pertain to just pregnant black women, I'm not going to say she should lose her license, but I think she should take time away from the medical field and seek therapy, because she may even be jealous of a lot of the pregnant women that she deals with. She may be secretly jealous, and that jealousy has turned into somewhat of a disdain. And that's the reason why she's spewing this we'll just say mess of saying that there's pregnant black women who are crying wolf because they want to get off from work. It shows that she wishes that she could be pregnant and she can't. And this is just basically anti-black woman racism, and she's got to stop it.
I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain where I can save him. I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain so he can cheat on me. I don't mind if he calls me trash. He can even beat me. I'm climbing. Mammy Mountain. Mammy Mountain. I'm a big mammy. He can cheat on me. He can beat me. I'm sad.
Yeah, so Dr. Jackie's in full mammy mode, trying to be negative to pregnant black women. She needs to sit down somewhere. I think she should get a different profession, to be honest. Because if you're working with pregnant women all day and you're upset that you can't get pregnant or you can't have a kid and you're openly showing disdain, can you imagine what she's doing behind closed doors? Can you imagine the passive aggressiveness that she's putting out there when she does her medical duties every day? This is, I don't know. It's just I think it's very dangerous, and I wouldn't be surprised if people come out later on and say that I had a negative experience with Dr. Jackie, and I think it's because she's jealous of me, so on and so forth. All right, so moving on. G League ball player confesses to taking out a woman and burying a body in the desert. Wow. So he's arrested for his role in the unaliving of a woman, confessed to police that he strangled the female before burying her body in a Nevada desert. Metro and Las Vegas investigators say through a series of interviews, they learned that Comanche and his ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old Sakira Harnden, played a role in the disappearance of Mariana Rogers. Okay, I butchered that name. That's her right there. That's Morena Rogers. Maybe it's Morena. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. And when they spoke to the basketball player about it all, he fessed up to unaliving her. That's crazy. Officials say Comanche had arrived in Vegas to participate in a G League game with his team, but developed a plan with Harnden to unalive Rogers a short time later due to an apparent dispute the woman had gotten into previously. Comanche told them he and Harnden had lured Rogers out on December 6th with the promise that they'd pay her for bedroom acts. Cops say Comanche told them they got Rogers into a car, and after picking up a bottle of booze from a nearby liquor store, they made it seem like they'd have intercourse with her inside of the ride. However, Comanche told cops he pulled out an HDMI cord and strangled Rogers for about 10 seconds. He allegedly let go, though cops say he told them Harnden continued to choke her until she became unresponsive. Officials say Comanche told them that once they believed Rogers was unalived, they dumped her body in a ditch and then buried it with rocks. Wow. And that's her right there. So think about it. Okay. This is Sakari, who he was with. She's looking like she's about that life. And this is who they took out. Yeah, Morena looks way better than whatever this thing is. So, she's facing a murder charge as well. This is crazy. So basically, Sakari is the ex-girlfriend, and due to an apparent dispute the woman had gotten into previously. So here's what I think happened. I think they had already, it's all alleged, I don't know for sure, because we don't have much information about this, but here's my speculation, all alleged. So I think that Mariana had been doing threesomes with them, and I think he liked her a lot, and there was jealousy. And I think because of the jealousy, Sakiri or Harnden wanted to unalive her out of jealousy and wanted her boyfriend to prove himself to her by helping her do it. And that's the reason why he started off with the HDMI cord. He let go, and then the ex-girlfriend finished the job. I think it was all due to jealousy. Because if you look at her, if you look at Harnden, she looks like she's had a rough life, like she's, been on the streets or whatever. Whereas you look at her, and I know this is just a random picture, maybe she's not like this in real life. She just looks like she gets better attention. She gets more favorable attention, and people probably like her way more than the other girl. And you see this type of thing. This is the reason why the whole threesome idea, people who do threesomes, more power to you. But understand that when you bring another person into the bedroom, there's the risk that your significant other may end up liking the other person a lot. And they're talking about them, they're thinking about them, they're excited for the next time. And you as a partner might be like, okay, that was a 1 or 2 time thing. How about just you and I get together? And your partner's like, nah. We need to have Morena we need to have Morena with us again and every time because I really, really like her.
Pays to win, still loses.
And so the risk with that, in my opinion, would be that your partner goes from wanting a threesome to wanting to be with someone like Rogers and not include you. And that's when we're taking an L. So I think that's what happened. Because in the story, there was nothing about a robbery. It was just that they promised that they'd pay her for sexual acts, if this is true, if this is true. And I think this is kind of true because the ball player, he admitted to it. But the other thing I would say is, I think that, and I think he confessed because once Harnden became an ex, he probably was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this chick and I'm going to confess, I'm gonna cut a deal, and I'm gonna throw her under the bus because she don't want to mess with me no more, and I did all this stuff to prove myself to her. And I think that she was being manipulative and playing games. And when it comes to the street chicks aren't loyal to anybody except for themselves and whoever is giving them money at the time. And I think that's what happened. Now, I don't know, I could be wrong. If you all know more information or if you all find out something in the future, put it in the comment section what you believe it is. But I think it's what it is. I think that they were doing threesomes with her already paying her. Harnden got jealous. Ball player wanted to be with Rogers without him. And jealousy ensued, and a plan was created to unalive her. And he participated and agreed to it because he wanted to prove himself. Yep. It's unfortunate. All right, moving on. Hulk Hogan. He was an icon to billions of people. And he was like the most successful wrestler of all time. And then his daughter, Brooke, started dealing with a black guy. I think he even had a kid. And he was recorded saying that she can't believe she was dealing with the N-word. And if you're going to deal with the N-word, at least get with a rich N-word. Wow.
Finish him.
Well, so Hulk Hogan's legacy has been tainted ever since. There hasn't been a lot of, we'll just say commercialization by WWE using Hulk Hogan. They decided to induct him in the Hall of Fame, even though he has been seen as racist, and he's even admitted, yeah, I am racist. Well, he's gotten baptized. So he says the sins of the past are washed away because he's been baptized, and he wants you to view him as a new, changed man.
Cause you out here lying like a hoe.
I don't know, but he's been baptized in the waters, okay? And so the Hulkster had the special ceremony at the Indian Rocks Baptist Church recently, getting in a large body of water and fully submerging himself as part of the christening process. He chose to give his life to Christ at age 70. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Just leave it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Give your life to Christ, whatever age you are. It's just that he went, we'll just say, 69 years of being on nonsense and being, we'll just say, a bad person, and then now all of a sudden he's a changed man. I think here's what I think happened.
Uh-oh, stinky.
I think what happened was he went to a medical professional. He's 70 now. He's 70. He went to a medical professional, and they were like, look, what you've been experiencing, it's this other thing. It's all alleged. What you've been experiencing is fatal. It's very significant. You don't have long to live. And I think Hulk Hogan is doing this baptism to hope that despite what he's done negative and racist and bad throughout his life, that he's sorry and that he can possibly wash away his sins and be able to enter into the gates of heaven.
What you do, dumbass?
And I mean, hey, this helps out the church. It gets them publicity. More members are going to show up hoping to see Hulk Hogan. They're going to get more donations. And he says, no worries, no hate, no judgment, only love. And he was accompanied by his wife, Sky Hogan, who also took part in the baptism. I guess both of them got baptized. And, yeah. He said he opened up to faith, saying he knew at a young age Jesus Christ was a savior who helped him take the correct path to success. He says, I accepted Christ as my savior at 14 years old. Whoa. Wait a minute. Whoa. If you accepted Christ at 14 as your personal Lord and Savior, why are you getting baptized at 70? I think it's because he got some fatal, it's all alleged. I think he got some fatal news from a medical professional or something, and he's trying to get baptized to hopefully slide in at the last minute and be good again, have the sins washed away, and be seen as a positive person, not just for his legacy on earth, but to hopefully he gets into heaven after he dies. Wow. Hey, I ain't mad at you. So he says that he accepted Christ as a savior at 14 years old, but he decided to get some sins out the way. He decided to go ahead and, sin just a little bit, and then at 70 it's out of his system, and now he's ready to be a good guy. Yeah. Hey, he's ready to be a good guy. He's ready to do the right thing, and he's getting baptized at 70. He says, and the training, prayers, and vitamins kept me in the game, but now that I am one with God, the main event theme of surrender, service, and love makes me the real main event that can slam any giant of any size through the power of my Lord and Savior, and so it is, even now, brother, amen. Yep. I think that's what it is. I think he's trying to, we'll just say, wash away the sins of his legacy. He wants to make sure his family is taken care of when he's no longer on this earth, and that they're able to use the Hogan name and be successful. And that's the reason why he's doing it now. 70 verses 14, when he claims he took Christ as a savior, and he's washing away his sins. So, yep, there's that. And, it happens. We can't stop him from doing what he does. The church benefited for the free publicity. More power to him. All right, moving on. The madness.
Just sucking dick in the bathroom. Watch how viral that shit go.
Real shit. Well, this ain't no motherfucking world star. This Will Hustle TV.
Shout out your boy Diddy right here on Will Hustle TV. Love.
Fuck Kanye West, I hate that nigga, man. Plus, I seen the nigga at one of puff parties and shit sucking dick in the bathroom. Watch how viral that shit go.
Real shit. Well, this ain't no motherfucking world star. This Will Hustle TV.
Shout out your boy Diddy right here on Will Hustle.
So that's what we saying. So Method Man, I think he's cloud chasing. Because see, everybody else is coming against Puffy, and now Method Man, he's trying to be relevant. He's trying to get his name into the news, into the blogs. We're covering it. He's saying that Kanye West was taking the pipe down the throat at one of Diddy's parties. Do we believe it? I'm going to wait to see if Kanye West addresses it or if he responds. Until Kanye West responds to this or addresses it, which he probably won't, but until Kanye does, because Kanye responds to everything. Kanye is not afraid at this point. So until Kanye West says this is true, or he responds, and based off what he says, makes it seem like Method Man is telling the truth, I'm going to say this dude is lying.
D's nuts.
People will swear up, people will say something, they'll put it on the internet, and these days they'll swear up and down that AI is the one that put that together, or that was a part of a diss track that he made a long time ago that never got put out. People will have a bunch of ways to walk stuff back when it doesn't go the way they want. But Method Man is saying that Kanye West was taking the pole down the throat at one of Diddy's parties. Diddy's parties are seeming like they were the world behind the world. And I don't know. I don't really believe Method Man, but we'll wait and see.
Because you're out here lying like a hoe.
Yep, we'll wait and see. And, yeah. All right, moving on.
Zion Williamson, since you want to send your publicist to talk shit about me every other freaking week, how about you get on a treadmill, speed 3, level 12, and maybe you'll lose some weight and go on it for like an hour or 2. Second, how about you stop drinking sodas? 3, how about you practice doing 3-pointers? Everybody's tired of seeing you do dunks all freaking day. Learn another move. It's getting boring and tired. You're tired and boring, just like how you were in bed. Here's some advice.
Wow. So Moriah Mills, she continues to be butthurt that dude cut her off. Yeah, because Moriah Mills wasn't saying all this stuff back when Zion was giving her money. She was quiet, taking the money, taking the pipe. And then all of a sudden when he cut her off and Moriah found out that he got someone else pregnant, now all of a sudden she's out here talking crap. And we see the type of stuff, all the time when someone gets disgruntled because someone cuts them off or does them wrong. Now all of a sudden they want to come back and they want to talk crap. And it's just like, look, nah, I understand you want to come back. and you want to stay relevant and all that because no one's really talking about you. But at this point, Moriah, you got to find something better to do with your life than to focus on Zion, because that ship has sailed a long time ago. It sailed a long time ago. And she wants to continue to put her name out there, but the problem is that she aims for Zion and accidentally hits herself.
Slayer.
Yeah, so she's hitting herself, making herself look crazy. I mean, this is the same woman that had Zion's name tattooed on her forehead, a temporary tattoo. Same one that was bad-mouthing him when she found out he got someone else pregnant. And she's the same one that can't move on. And she's supposed to be in the adult films, yet she's not really working. Yeah, so she's saying that she's not feeling Zion's publicist making bad headlines about her. So she goes to fat shame the guy. His fatness was cool while he was on top of you.
Bruh.
Right. Like, now he's too big. Now he's too big for you. He was on top of you, sweating and grunting, and you was cool with that. Now all of a sudden you got a problem. No, you got a problem because the money is no longer there. And you're hoping that if you continue to talk about Zion over and over and over again, somebody will give you a reality show, they'll give you an interview, they'll say you're hoping they'll give you something, and everybody's looking at you like, nah. Only thing you deserve is to continue to be a pass around.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Yep. So Moriah Mills continues to fade off into obscurity. And yeah, we're talking about her, not because we support what she's doing or take her seriously, but we're talking about her because, well, she just constantly takes L's, and at this point, she's a clown. All right, moving on.
Submissive to a man that you make more money than at all?
Because I work, let's say I work all day, 9 to 5, and then we have a child, so I'm work all night taking care of the family, and then so you basically want me to have 2-3 jobs. Your wife, a mom, and a job. Like, you basically want me to have 3 jobs while you work a part-time job? How is that fair?
But what if it's full-time?
You want me to do the cooking, the cleaning, the houses, you want me to do everything and work all day?
But you gotta be gotta be nurturing some kind of way.
I'm nurturing because I don't work all day.
You nurturing because you don't work all day?
Yeah, I'm very nurturing because I don't work all day. I'm just saying, like, when you're working 40 hours, because I've been there, and you are, stressed about finances, and you're stressed about, like, just your home.
So you feel like you can't be submissive to a man that you make more money than at all?
Because so I work, let's say I work.
Wow. See, women these days, they'll say, okay, if I don't work, or work if I want to because you're paying all the bills, I'm able to be submissive and be a proper wife. And then when you ask them, okay, what are you going to be doing all day while the kids are in school and I'm at work? She's going to be like, oh, I'll be at home working. When we all know that she's not going to be at home working, she's going to be at home working you over.
Simping activate.
Because women believe that when the man gets off work, she gets off work. So when you go home, you're still going to have to help clean and cook. You're still going to have to help do stuff. Because again, she feels like when you get off work, she gets off work, and you both should run errands together, cook and clean together, so on and so forth. So she's still going to be complaining about doing stuff, and you're still going to have to help her, even if she doesn't work or doesn't have to work. What this really is there's a lot of women who are not only entitled, but they're brats. And with them being brats, they feel like they're not going to be, we'll just say, monogamous, because it's not really about submission. What they're saying is they're going to really be themselves and be combative, and they're not going to be monogamous, and they're going to be difficult on purpose and they're going to sabotage not just the home, but your life, because they're going to get with you and not be happy with what they got going on. Because think about it. Why would a woman who does not want to work or wants her man to pay all the bills, why would she get with someone who on the first date is not talking about providing that or can't provide that? Why would she waste not just her time, but his time? And the reason being is because she already is going to be like that, whether you pay the bills or not. Because see, a woman is wife material before she becomes a wife. The marriage ceremony is just a formality. It's more like a ritual. And when you don't become a wife once you say I do or submit the marriage license to the government, you're a wife all the time. Like if a woman is marriage minded, every guy that she dates and interacts with on an intimate level, she's going to be approaching the situation with the mindset of this. I'm going to be in this because I want to be a wife. And if it doesn't work out, she doesn't just, stay. She goes and meets someone else and continues the process of putting herself out there as a wife. And if this person wants to marry her, cool. If not, she moves on. But the wife mindset's not going to leave her. She's not going to compromise herself if she doesn't get what she wants. She's going to hold out to get what she wants. So this woman, like a lot of other women, they're saying, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you if you don't give me what I want, but I'm still going to get with you.
Emotional damage.
And that's the problem, is that people are going into a situation with a messed up mindset, a hoe mentality, if you will, as opposed to knowing their worth and putting themselves first and just holding out for what they want to get. So she claims that she can't be submissive to a man she makes more money than, and he cannot pay all the bills. So you got to not only make more money than her, but you got to pay all the bills and free her up so that she's able to rest in her femininity, which is a good thing. But because there's an option of her to punish you or not, she's not submissive. She's not wife material. And this is a woman that's going to be single in a relationship with you, single in a marriage with you, and you want to avoid these type of women in situations. And when they give you the red flags, instead of trying to argue with her, instead of trying to complain or change her mind, just know that this is a sign that you need to turn around and run away. And that's the problem. A lot of you all will put the cape on and try to save her, try to change her, make her into someone and something that she's not. And that is the wrong idea. Yep. So yeah, she says she can't be submissive if she makes more money than you and you got to pay all the bills. That's just madness. It is a cheater waiting to cheat, and she's giving you a heads up, which, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. Moving on.
I don't feel like men are given that safe space in a relationship to be vulnerable and to be honest without being judged or without it being hijacked about how I made you feel about my honesty. And so what a lot of men learn to do through conditioning with dealing with women over time, even with their mothers, even with their family members, is learn to internalize this. Because even if I have a legitimate gripe, I know when I tell you this, you may start to cry, you may start to flip it. And now I'm talking more about how you feel about what I said than what I actually said. And so we always talk about providing safe space for women, and that's a conversation, period, and stick that. But also for men, I think men are yelling.
Wow. Ace metaphor is actually taking up for men. He must be wanting more money. Yeah, Yeah, you ladies must not be paying well because now he's talking about a safe space for men in a relationship as opposed to, like he said in the past, that men need to focus on women and women's problems and blah, blah, blah. Crazy times. A lot of people are getting a head start on 2024. And I guess Ace Metaphor is doing just that. Is it Ace Metaphor? I think it's Ace Metaphor.
A couple things. And I'm just going to, ladies, give me grace.
I think it's him. It looks like him, but I don't think it's him. So we'll say Ace Metaphor lookalike. But yeah, dude said a safe space in relationships. So I will say this much. I think the better answer is that men need to understand that when they're in a relationship, they're not in a relationship with their therapist. You're not in a relationship with your therapist. Your woman is not your therapist. And if you want therapy, then go get it. Now, as far as being able to communicate, I think a man should be able to be himself. And if he can't be himself, he needs to determine what compromise he can make. And if he can't compromise with his woman, then he should leave. But I think a lot of men, what they're doing is they are wanting to complain over and over and over. And again, your woman is not your therapist. She's not your mom. She's not there to, we'll just say, kiss your boo-boos and put Band-Aids and stuff on you.
Got him! Got him!
That's the issue. That's the issue. There's a lot of men that they're not really understanding that if you're supposed to be in your masculine energy, if you're supposed to be the leader, the man, so to speak, you can't sit there and argue with a woman or go back and forth with her. You can't stoop to her level emotionally. You just can't do those things because it's not going to be healthy for a relationship. And women shouldn't be emotional wrecks either. Both people should be healed and healthy and have had therapy from unresolved childhood issues and past relationships and so on and so forth. It's just that with men, when we have emotional breakdowns and emotional outbursts, we tend to be violent, abusive, and destructive. Whereas women, they can be the same way, but it's just that we have the strength to kind of like stop them, and you got to let them go. Because if they call the cops, you're in for a bad weekend. If you call the cops, they may just tell you that, hey, you all should separate. So society kind of views women better when it comes to relationships, and society treats women better when it comes to relationship dynamics. We as men, we get the short end of the stick, but just know that society was made for men. So it's, you can't have it both ways. You can't be the emotional one that can have a breakdown and society kind of views you in a favorable position, but then on the other hand, be the leader of the relationship, leader of society. You can't have it both ways. And unfortunately, women are allowed to be emotional wrecks to a certain extent, and men are pretty much seen as the leaders. So if you're in a relationship and it's not going the way you want, you feel like you're not the leader, she's not listening, it might be that she might be the wrong one for you. And I think you should be safe and secure in your relationship to a certain point. From what I've heard, a lot of men, they want their woman to be a therapist as opposed to being a partner. So yeah. All right. Yeah, exactly. It's draining. It's very, very draining. All right. So moving on. Say it ain't so. Eddie Winslow. Say it ain't so, Eddie. Yes. Eddie Winslow has been arrested over failure to pay child support. Wow. Yeah, Laura done put on weight. But anyway, this is the second time Eddie Winslow has been arrested for the same offense. So Darius McCrary is currently behind bars following his arrest over failure to pay child support. Funny thing about that is he's not going to be able to earn an income to pay the child support if he's behind bars anyway. So what are we doing here? I mean, what are we really doing here? But I mean, hey, it is what it is. So the 47-year-old actor was booked on one felony count of failure to pay child support. And so he was arrested November 27th due to an outstanding balance of $52K. A little bit south of $53K, and that's as of March 12, 2019. Wow. So he pled not guilty, and his bail is set to $13K. It's unclear if McCrary was taken into custody, but records show he remains behind bars. And so he's got a mugshot out there, and it shows him smiling and sporting a scruffy salt and pepper beard and blue jumpsuit. Yep. Well, we don't have that. We don't need it. I mean, it's crazy. And so this isn't the first time he's been arrested over failure to pay child support. He was taken into custody 2015 on similar charge. He has 2 daughters and 1 son. And so, he's not going to be able to make money if he's not able to be out of jail to make money. So this whole thing is kind of like hypocritical to me. Well, not really hypocritical, but it's kind of dumb. But he should pay the child support because it's for his children, per se. I mean, there's people who are going to argue that the kids don't need all that money and that the large amount of money is so that the mom or mothers are able to not work and all that. The system is not fair, but we know the system's not fair, and yet we are still going in chicks raw, and we're still making babies.
Unfrickin' believable.
So yeah, the system is not fair, and it's not really helpful for men, but it does benefit the children directly or indirectly. So if we're gonna change the child support laws, okay. If not, don't complain about the game. You see the rules. You see everything. Once you give the woman the sperm, whether you're married or not, what she does with it, what the government does with it, is on them, and this is the hand you're dealt. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that women who have children by men who are rich and wealthy, they're holding all the aces, so to speak. And I know the name of the channel, right? And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And so, yeah. Yep. So, another person is victim of child support. It is what it is. Everybody's talking about changing the child support laws, and every year the laws stay the same. So what do you think? Yeah, being a whole person means you are not an emotional basket case, dumping all your problems and issues on your significant other all the time. Yeah, I agree. Yep. So, yep, Eddie Winslow is in jail due to child support, his second time. I'm sure if he gets out, it'll be a third and a fourth time. And it's unfortunate that a lot of guys don't go back to the judge and say, hey, my income has decreased. Can you decrease my child support? Or they don't. I mean, that's really what you should do. If you make less money, then you should pay less. But it is what it is.
And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust.
All right, moving on. Cardi B, not only did she go off on Offset on her Instagram Live, she has cleaned out the bank account and left him with scraps.
Game over.
Yep. So they both have a joint account. Both their names are on it. She removed all of quote unquote her money, left him with scraps. And that's because, well, Offset decided that he was going to bring Jade. That's Tekashi 6ix9ine's ex-girlfriend, baby mama, to his birthday party. He wanted to hold her hand. That's the same Jade that was in Offset's DM, the same Jade that Cardi B and her goons tried to attack at a club and she got arrested over it. That Jade. Out of all the women, it had to be that Jade.
D's nuts.
So Cardi B is angry, rightly so. I'd be angry too if someone that was trying to mess with your significant other, you going back and forth with this person, maybe even risking going to jail for this person, and then your significant other later on in the future is seen with the person. Ultimate betrayal, but Offset, he's been cheating up a storm for years, not surprised. And so Cardi B has left him with scraps. The Cardi B and Offset drama is heating up, and it's gotten real ugly. And so she's removed all of her quote-unquote assets from her husband's accounts. And yeah, dude is supposedly left with next to nothing. His album that he just dropped in October, it did really well because Cardi B was on it. I know the Migos and Offset, they have had their popularity in the past, but to me, Cardi B has helped the Migos, helped Offset sell albums and stay relevant. And the fact that he turned on her, I think he did it out of jealousy. Because you got to understand that Offset basically put Cardi B on when it comes to rap music or the rap game. And then the fact that she has surpassed him and even dwarfed him and even helped out his stagnant career speaks volumes. And then the fact that he's been cheating left and right, and of course being disrespectful, and for him to, out of all the women, be with Jade, I think that he allegedly is jealous, and this is his way of kind of like getting back at her, and it's just unfortunate. It's just real unfortunate. And so Cardi B is gearing for what looks like it could be one of the most bitter and contentious divorce battles in hip-hop history. That's if they even get divorced. That's if they even go to being divorced. One person close to the incident explained, Cardi made most of the money for the family. She's all about saving and investing. Offset is about spending widely. And they say that majority of the money that was in the account was like 95% of it hers. And so she took it and she left. And I think Offset is overplaying his hand, because just looking at how powerful Cardi B is in the industry, you see the fact that Cardi B and Tasha K got into it, and Cardi B has not only sued Tasha K and won and was successful with the lawsuit, but also Cardi B has blacklisted Tasha K and told people that if you work with Tasha K, you can't rock with me. And that made people like Joe Budden and other people who had business with Tasha K pull out or not publish interviews they've done with her. And Tasha K has been livid about that. Cardi B has gotten to the point where in the industry, she can actually blacklist people. She can stop your bag. And she's going to do that for Offset times 10, just because he's publicly humiliated her multiple times. So I don't think this was a smart move for Offset. I think if he really wanted to be with other women or another woman or with Jade, I think he should have behind the scenes had a conversation with Cardi. I think he should have filed for divorce. I think he should have tried to still be cool with Cardi B so they could possibly do business together, and then maybe waited a year or longer to come out with a Jade or another woman so that he and Cardi could still be cool. Because even though the women that Offset has been cheating on Cardi with look way better than Cardi B, okay, even though they look way better, they do. Cardi B has had plastic surgery to try to keep up with these women, but it's like even though Cardi B has improved her looks, she doesn't look as good as the women that Offset she's with, because most of these women are natural white women, natural black women, and it is what it is. So I think that if Offset really did want to be with other women, and obviously he did, he should have tried to make sure that the business relationship that they have continues to have her on more of his albums, because please believe that other people who will want to work with Offset might change their mind or hesitate because they don't want Cardi B to blacklist them. Because I mean, think about it, all the tracks that Cardi B has been on for other people, those songs have blown up. Like there's a lot of artists that have had their music shelved or kicked back because Cardi B just dropped something, and everybody wants to work with Cardi B because Cardi B is popping. Offset is not popping. You don't hear anybody say, "Oh, I wish I could have Offset on my track." Nobody says that. Nobody says, "Oh, I'd like to have the Migos on my track." Nobody says that. And so just the fact that he decided to play in the face of Cardi B and crap over that business relationship and their business marriage, it just shows to me that he's reckless. And he, if he would have talked to me, I'd be like, "Hey, Offset, here's what you should do. You should, if you're going to, break up with her properly, have the conversation, let her cuss you out behind closed doors, file for divorce, let her win in a divorce procedure, let her get most of the wins, put out a joint statement, still say you're going to be friends," kind of like Tia Mowry and the guy that she was with. I forgot his name. Like Tia Mowry, they put out, they both were like, "Hey, we're still going to be cool. We're still going to be friends. This is no cheating and this and that." And they're still able to do business. They may even get back together. But with Offset and Cardi B, it seemed like Offset was more about burning the bridge multiple times, and this was just a bad choice, bad decision. And so it's not just money that Cardi has, it's real estate. The insider said to Media Takeout they own a home in Atlanta where Cardi and the children stay, and they have a home in Jersey where Cardi's mother stays. She's getting both of those homes. Offset is currently living in Los Angeles in a Los Angeles mansion that the couple has been renting. Wow. And so without Cardi's money, people are saying that Offset is nowhere near as wealthy as he portrays. Cardi's friend told Media Takeout, "That man spends money like water, and he's not even hot like that anymore. Watch what his life ends up looking like without Cardi." And I agree. Without Cardi B, there is no Offset. But Offset thinks that the machine that made Cardi B relevant and famous, that without him, she's not going to have the fame and the success. But I think really what it is that people are going to Offset and telling him that Cardi B is the number one in the world. He can't compete with her. I think he got jealous, and that's why he's lashing out with all this cheating and stuff. Men do this type of stuff. Men do this all the time, which is why it's very important for a man to make just as much, if not more, than the woman and pay all the bills. Because we as men, we do have egos, we do have issues and problems, and we are quick to lash out at our partner out of an inferiority complex. Not all, but enough. And I think that's what Offset has been doing with the cheating and stuff. And that's the reason why he made the horrible decision to get with Jade out of everyone in the world. Out of everyone in the world he could have got with, he got with the one woman that Cardi B fought in the club and was almost going to go to jail over, who was like her, we'll just say, number 3 enemy in the world. Yep. Very, very bad decision. All right, moving on. So here is the Jonathan Majors video. So They're going to a light. All right, at the light. So this is them right here. This is them right here. All right, you all see him right there. That's them right there. All right, so can we slow it up? All right, so boom, right there. I'm not making fun of a victim or anything, but so Jonathan Majors, you know, he got out the vehicle. Grace got out as well. He picks her up to put her back inside. Boom, she hits her head on the top of the vehicle. That right there is misdemeanor assault. And then what happens inside the back of the vehicle is more assaulting of her. He definitely assaulted this woman right there. I mean, he's roughing her up. And he has the body of a boxer. Whereas with her, she's a dancer. Yeah, she gets back out. She's fussing with him. Boom, he takes off. Boom. Pushes her. All right, so that's so okay. So just from what I saw, I mean, you saw the same thing I saw, right? And what I mean is, you saw the same video I saw where dude assaulted her. Okay, we all saw the same thing. So if we all saw the same thing, what's Dr. Umar talking about?
They snow bunnied our brother Jonathan Majors.
Number one, Jonathan Majors chose Grace. Let's break it down. Should have had this queued up. Let's break this thing on down. All right, so. All right, so Jonathan Majors was in the film Ant-Man and the Wasp. He played Kang the Conqueror, okay? That is where he met Grace Jabari. Grace Jabari's career has not been near as close to Jonathan Majors. So Grace has been in A Christmas Carol that none of you all saw or heard of. Well, we'll say none of you all saw. She was in Ant-Man and the Wasp as a movement coach. She was in Barbie, the Barbie movie, as a dancer. She was in Mission Impossible as a dancer. She was in the Cry, 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 a Coldplay music video. That's Grace Jabari. That is Grace Jabari. So for someone like Jonathan Majors to get with Grace Jabari, we know that Jonathan Majors, he's on the top of the food. Well, he was at the top of the food chain, whereas Grace was nowhere at the top of the bottom. So Jonathan Majors got with her for whatever reason, probably because she is a snow bunny, if you ask me. You know, I guess he wanted his proximity to whiteness. I don't know, but for whatever reason, he's dealing with Grace. Well, the way he was talking to Grace on the audio that was played Jonathan Majors was big timing Grace. And what I mean is he was doing the big me, little you. He was telling Grace that he's a great man. He's done a lot of things for the culture. And he needs her to be like Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife or like Michelle Obama. He basically was talking down to her, doing the big me, little you. I'm the big fish. You're the small fish. Okay? And Grace was cool with it. Grace was cool with it because she saw Jonathan Majors as her ticket to the top. He could help her in her career. Whereas Jonathan saw Grace as, we'll just say, a trophy wife, as a possession, a side piece. Someone that looks good for him to have on his arm when he goes to different places. And because Grace is a woman of no color, she's going to open doors for him and be a conversational starter as his possession. But then Grace, in hearing the abuse and allegedly being a party girl and a drinker, she found out that Jonathan Majors was two-timing her with what's her face? I can't even think. Megan Good. Okay, Megan Good stopped bleaching her skin, and she was helping Jonathan Majors cheat on Grace. And no diss to Megan Good. It's just that she divorced Devin Franklin. He's a producer, author, a motivational speaker. She divorced Devin and she went back to the streets and started dealing with bad boys. It wasn't working out for her. Her career wasn't working out for her. The skin bleaching wasn't working out for her. So she's like, okay, I need to get with someone who's a big fish in the industry. Jonathan Majors is on the way up. He and I will link up. We'll be good. But guess what? Jonathan Majors got arrested for DV of Grace Jabari. And she was like, okay, you know what? He's going to go through this. He'll be fine. I'll be holding his hand every day during trial. And when he gets a not guilty, he and I are going to ride off into the sunset. And we'll be good. Now, the fact that Megan Good saw that Grace Jabari was granted a protection order against Jonathan Majors, and she saw the same evidence that we were seeing in real time during the trial, the fact that she didn't pack up and leave and she stayed to the very end, knowing that she saw the same video we just saw, she was believing that, you know what? I will be rewarded for being a mammy.
I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain where I can save him. I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain so he can cheat on me. I don't mind if he calls me trash. He can even beat me. I'm climbing Mammy Mountain, Mammy Mountain. I'm a big mammy. He can cheat on me. He can beat me. I'm sad.
Yeah, so during the court trial, there's a video of Jonathan Majors yelling at Grace, describing himself as a great man, comparing himself to Martin Luther King Jr. and Barack Obama, and demanding she act like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. So basically, he was big timing her. Big me, little you. And, a judge allowed the key evidence to be released to the public, which we just saw. And Megan Good sat there, silent, seeing what we saw, and then was surprised and cried out when Jonathan Majors was found guilty of 1 count of reckless assault in 3rd degree and a charge of harassment as a violation. Wow.
These nuts.
But I mean, he was doing stuff like that and more from what we saw in the video. And, you know, you can't be surprised. So we're going to get off of making good. So what is Dr. Umar talking about that he was Snow Bunny? No. Jonathan Majors, he picked Grace. He should have picked better. He should not have been abusive. He shouldn't have been trying to big time somebody because he's lost everything. He's lost everything. Marvel has dropped him. Other projects that he was a part of have dropped him. I think he will be able to find work, but he's going to now be forced to do, and this is sad to say, but he's going to have to be forced to do black movies.
Your team sucks.
And the reason why I say that as negative is that, you know, Jonathan Majors was on the rise in Hollywood, and he was in movies that you normally don't become a part of unless you're, we'll say, on the in crowd. He had just became on the in crowd, and he's gonna have to start doing Tyler Perry movies. Tyler Perry movies make $1 billion, but like Taraji P. Henson said, and a lot of other people have said, a lot of movies like that, they don't pay well. They don't pay well, you don't go far. So don't be surprised if you see Jonathan Majors as a slave somewhere, you know, like Will Smith had to be in Emancipation. Don't be surprised if you see Jonathan Majors playing a drug dealer. Those roles are considered quote unquote black roles. Don't be surprised if you see him do that stuff in the future, trying to claw his way back. And I doubt that he's going to be getting his way back. I just really doubt it. And it's unfortunate because, well, he thought he was untouchable, and then he got touched.
What the fuck?
He snow bunnied our brother Jonathan Majors.
Wow.
I just heard that the U.S. military dropped a series of ads that Jonathan Majors was in promoting their new recruiting campaign.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
So the military dropped his ads.
Yeah, I mean, domestic violence. Nobody wants to be associated with domestic violence.
I think they're going to try to destroy the brother. Now, I don't condone.
He basically destroyed himself.
Bunny hopping. Those of you who know me know I absolutely do not condone bunny hopping. Black men have no business.
So you don't bunny hop, but you're hopping around, running through black women. That's cool. Running through black women and taking everybody's money for donations and having nothing to show for it. That's cool. We cool on that. As long as you're doing black women wrong. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Have absolutely no business with snow bunnies. Absolutely no business dating outside the race. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But be that.
Well, it's too late for that. It's too late for that. Jonathan Majors already dated outside his race. He was already abusive. The damage has been done. I think the better thing to say would be just don't be abusive. Just don't big time people. Treat people with respect. If he was really with making good, he should have broke up with Jabari, had a heart to heart with her, an honest conversation, let her know exactly what was going on, and then removed himself from her. No. Jonathan Majors' issue was the fact that he was trying to monkey branch. He was cheating. And he did not want to properly break up with Grace because he felt like Grace was less than.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, he felt that Grace was beneath him and he didn't have to do her right. He could just two-time her. And then when Grace found out that she was being two-timed, she was upset, of course, because she took his abuse, she took his drama, she took all that, thinking that she was going to ride to the top with him, only to find out that she was nothing more than a plaything and a placeholder. And that's why she was upset. So really it should be about treating people right instead of trying to screw people over, and you won't have to worry about them retaliating.
As it may, an attack on one black man is an attack on all black men. An attack on one black man is an attack.
So basically, what Dr. Umar is saying is that it's okay for black men to be abusive. Because y'all saw the same video I saw. Y'all saw the same thing I saw. And we all know that he, in court, it was put out there that he was cheating on Grace with Making Good. So we're going to skip over the details and say that, he's under attack. Dr. Umar is basically saying that it's okay to abuse, it's okay to lie, it's okay to cheat.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Attack on all black men. An attack on one black man is an attack on all black men.
So now he basically is doing the dog whistle because he wants us to march. No. Jonathan Majors made bad decisions. He made bad choices, and he's getting what he gets.
And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah.
My brothers, we can't make it this easy. I'm not saying black women are not guilty of the same behavior. I'm not saying that. But what I do know is black women are least likely to want to see a black man destroyed the way in which these.
Wow. So black women who have called the cops on a black man, we've heard that several times, thousands of times on the internet. Black women not doing that anymore. Wow. Yeah, so a lot of dudes talking about they were put on child support. The cops were called on them. I don't know. It just seems like the common denominator, fellas, is us. We got to learn to walk away. We got to learn to set healthy boundaries. We got to learn to pick better. We got to learn to not be with people who are toxic. Because if Jonathan Majors would have properly broken up with Grace and waited to come out with Making Good, he would have not had these problems. But the thing is he felt like he could do whatever he wanted to do, big me, little you. And the takeaway should be that if you're going to end a relationship, let the person have time to process it. And then in time, move on, or in time, reveal that you have a new person. It's better to do that than to tell half-truths, lies, and misleading information.
Snow bunnies have been destroying successful black men. Yes, there's black women capable of the same behavior, but
doing the same behavior. What are you talking about?
On average, in general, black women, most decent black women, don't want to see black men humbled this way. Now, they say that the Snow Bunny went to the hospital for some minor scars or blemishes. Now, Jonathan Majors is a pretty athletic brother, works out, very strong. If he choked out a Snow Bunny, I'm pretty sure the evidence would be obvious. Pale.
So hitting her head on top of the vehicle and roughing her up in the back seat of the vehicle, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore that. That's nothing to see here. We're gonna ignore that, That's the problem. What Dr. Umar Johnson is saying is that it's okay for assault if it's quote unquote little stuff. If it's minor injuries, if it's little, not that bad, just a little bit of blood, then Grace should just take it and walk away. What Dr. Umar Johnson is basically saying is that if Grace were a black woman, not only could you have roughed her up and beat her up, but she wouldn't have said anything. Because he wants black women to continue to be mules and mammies.
I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain where I can save him. I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain so he can cheat on me. I don't mind if he calls me trash. He can even beat me. I'm climbing Mammy Mountain, Mammy Mountain. I'm a big mammy. He can cheat on me. He can beat me. I'm sad.
Right. Assault is assault. Point blank period. Assault is assault. And just saying that, if you were a black woman, it would have been okay to beat up on her. She wouldn't have went to the cops, which is basically what Dr. Umar is saying. That's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer. So he's giving the dog whistle that the mules and the mammies of the black community would have taken this on the chin. So if you're wanting to beat up on someone and not lose your livelihood, then pick a black woman to beat up on. As opposed to seeing what we saw with him picking Grace up, putting her in the vehicle, hitting her head on top of the vehicle, and then putting her in the back seat, roughing her up. And then when he walks away, she goes and walks with him to talk to him, and he takes off running. And he takes off. The rumor is that he grabbed her phone and was going to take off running with her phone. And that was the night that Grace found out that he was cheating on her with Megan Good. So Dr. Umar is basically ignoring all that and saying, get with a black woman. They can take a beating. They can take a licking and keep on ticking, which to me is just the wrong answer.
Unfrickin' believable.
Pale people bruise easily. Pale people bruise easily.
So basically he's saying that black women don't bruise easily. So if you beat up on them, then you'll be good. Now I know y'all are saying, nah. That's not what he's saying. Nah. If you get with a black woman, you'll have a better situation. She won't be crazy. Nah. Black women can take it. Nah. Black women are good. They're used to being mules and mammies. They not mules and mammies anymore. Nah. Get with her. She can take one on the chin. Nah. Black women are masculine. Nah. Batman. Yeah, y'all, nah, Batman people talking about we all got to stick together, get with a black woman because she wouldn't have went to the police. She wouldn't have went to the hospital for some minor stuff. She would have played her role in The Color Purple 2023. And I'm disgusted by this. I'm disappointed in Dr. Umar for even coming at it from this angle. I understand what he's trying to do, but it just seems like what he's really doing is dog whistling that if you are someone that has to put your hands on a woman, get a black woman.
What you do, dumbass?
Pale people bruise easily. So if Jonathan Major smacked this woman up, gripped her up, choked her up, as alleged, she should have purple bruises, red bruises, hand marks, finger marks.
Wow. So now we are victim blaming. Wow, wow, wow.
You just get laughed at publicly. I did not deserve to just get my stream just ended. Just leave it.
Pale people bruise easily. So if they're saying that there's hardly any bruises, if they're saying that there's hardly any
bruises, but there are bruises, sir. There are bruises, and we saw him ram her head into the top of the vehicle.
bruises, then no way in hell am I inclined to believe that this brother is guilty of these allegations. But in the Me Too era, in the Me Too era, where white supremacy wears one of its favorite disguises.
Wow. So let me get this straight. So a woman who comes forward and says, this thing happened to me, that somebody did something to me, this is white supremacy. I mean, Jonathan Majors was found guilty of 1 count of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and a charge of harassment as a violation. His sentence will be February 6th. He may do a year in jail. So him putting his hands and paws on somebody, this is white supremacy.
Don't make me laugh. Which is feminism. In the Me Too era, where white supremacy wears one of its favorite disguises, which is feminism, they now
so what is him assaulting her have to do with white supremacy? Because he's black, feminism. Like Dr. Umar Johnson is deflecting all over the place. Just deflecting all over the place. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Try, convict, and sentence black men in the court of public opinion. Jonathan Majors has already been lynched in the court of public opinion. Why did the military cancel his ad campaign?
Because he was found guilty, and it was involving assault and domestic violence. That is why the military has enough problems of people in uniforms doing that stuff, but not supporting someone not in uniform doing that stuff. What the hell? Yeah. Military cut their ties. You should cut your ties too, sir.
Campaign. Same thing happened with Michael Irvin. Now, Michael Irvin, yes, he's a...
Oh, man, this dude finna deflect all over the place. He's gonna deflect all over the place. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So what did Michael Irvin do?
A white man's black man, obviously. Not an example of what we want to see our men be like in our community, the way in which he jumped up for Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones didn't jump up for him, but for Michael Irvin to be removed from Super Bowl coverage. For Michael Irvin to be removed from Super Bowl coverage. For Michael Irvin to be removed from Super Bowl coverage without any strong evidence to prove the allegations was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
So now we're going to tell the NFL what to do with their business and their broadcast. Wow. Wow.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to tell an employer what to do with their employee? What else are you going to do?
Black men are guilty until proven innocent. And see, what's bothering me, my brothers? What's bothering me, my brothers? This is King Kong Consciousness live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What bothers me the most about the Michael Irvin situation?
So basically what Dr. Umar is saying is that Jonathan Majors is guilty of dating a white woman. That's really what he's saying, because he hasn't addressed the video or the text messages or the recording. Jonathan Majors is guilty of being with a white woman, because if he had did this to a black woman and served some time, he wouldn't have made no video. Or if he would have did it to a black woman and Jonathan Majors didn't do any time, he wouldn't have made a video. Jonathan Majors, in Dr. Umar Johnson's eyes, is really guilty of being with a white woman. And that's the problem with the pro-blacks. The pro-blacks are cool with everything except for dating outside your race. You could be on fuckery. You could be on hoe stuff. You could be on nonsense. You could be selling drugs, unaliving people. You could be doing the most to harm black people. They're cool with it. But then when you do it to a white person and you get the consequences of your actions, now all of a sudden, here they come, ringing the alarm. Yeah. Yep, he's saying if you would have got with a black woman, you would have got away with it. So date the black women. They're masculine. They're punching bags, so on and so forth. And please believe that if, for whatever reason, he can't open up his school, guess who he's going to blame? He's going to blame a black woman, because he knows that he can get away with it because black women, by the pro-blacks, are seen as punching bags, mules, and mammies.
Bothers me the most about the Jonathan Majors situation, totally preventable.
Yeah, by keeping your hands and paws to yourself.
Totally preventable.
Yep.
Totally preventable.
Yes.
Snow bunny hunting is the most dangerous form of hunting you can do in the United States of America.
A man committing domestic violence or putting hands and paws on a woman is the most dangerous thing you could do in America.
Black man. It is more dangerous to hunt for a snow bunny than it is to hunt for a lion, a tiger, a bear.
So in other words, he's saying that black women are easier to hunt for than other women because you can get away with stuff. Wow.
The most dangerous form of hunting for the black men in America is snow bunny hunting. Michael Irvin didn't do nothing but have a conversation. But why did you need a conversation with the bunny? Jonathan Majors, from what I understand, allegedly he was driving in a cab. But why were you with the snow bunny in the first place? Y'all know these white women are only considering you because you have something to offer them. That is it. You are a fetish at best for the Caucasian female. You are a fetish at best for the Caucasian female. You are a fetish at best for the Caucasian female. See, the white woman who dates the black man is like the white teenager who listens to gangster rap and wears his pants sagging. It's just a stage in their development. It's just a stage in their development. It's just a season in their lifetime. That's all it is. It's a season in their lifetime. So you are literally being
See, what he's saying could be so. It could be so. I mean, Grace is 31. She could still be developing. But the problem is that Jonathan Majors is guilty. He did it. Everything you're saying does make sense. It is so. I don't disagree. But the issue is that you're juxtaposing this idea you're presenting, trying to make Jonathan Majors guilty, not because he assaulted a woman, but because he assaulted a white woman, and it should have been a black woman. Wow. 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 And that's the problem with the pro-blacks. They're focused on the wrong stuff. They say the right thing at the right time. They say the right thing at the wrong time, and they end up doing more harm than good. All right, we're going to stop that because he's going to ramble on and on and on. Yeah, right, Cap. Exactly, Cap. So Jonathan Major's relative has this to say.
America.
This is what he has to say.
And would you like to say anything on Miss Major's behalf?
This is America.
This is America. So basically, if we were in a country in the continent of Africa or Jamaica, anywhere in the Caribbean, if you would have did this, you would have got away with it because it's easier to do bad stuff to black women because you get away with it than any other woman. Yep, that's what they're saying. This is America. In America, you can't put your hands and paws on women. That's a bad thing. You go somewhere else, you could do it. And if she's a dark-skinned black woman, not only can you do it, but you can get away with it. Horrible, horrible. Well, so what do you think?
Wow.
What do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell. This is The Spade Show. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.